Oh man, LDBC. Let's skip the background noise. Forgive me for that. Let's just get right into it. You know, we got some goofy, stupid people making videos. So now the narrative is that, I don't know, Errol, Spence, Bud, Crawford, Sean Porter, they're now afraid of Jaron Boots Ennis. Okay, I have this conversation a whole lot. I have this conversation so much that it's almost like you get sick to your stomach, you get sick and tired of having a conversation. Fighters are not wired the way normal people are. A fighter in any kind of contact or combat sport, we're wired differently. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter, they're not afraid to fight Boots Ennis. Guys, I hate to say this, but back in my past, when I was covering boxing, I was ignorant. Okay, because I'd always say, man, I don't really give a damn about the money part. I just want to see the best fight the best. Yeah, I do. I want to see the best fight the best. We all do. But now in this era, we have to understand that before a fight can happen, there's got to be some kind of financial liability. That means that the fight is going to have to be lucrative to both parties, especially not Boots Ennis, because I think Boots Ennis would take the fight under any circumstances. But for the person that Boots Ennis is chasing, it's got to be lucrative. That's just what it is. Okay, it ain't no, you know, this person's scared, that person's scared. They're not scared. Okay? But see, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. and even Sean Porter, they're going to have the stance that, okay, what has Boots done? Who has he fought? Okay, what has he done and who has he fought? What kind of money is he going to bring to the table if we fight? Henceforth, also the problem in boxing. Because I always have this notion like, okay, how, if you want to fight somebody, how do you fight somebody when nobody don't want to fight you? I never get that. How can I fight somebody when nobody don't want to fight me? And how do I become somebody to fight somebody? Oh, to become somebody and fight somebody, I got to fight somebody. But what about if somebody don't want to fight me? Y'all see where this goes? But there's a financial liability that has to happen. Okay, and unfortunately, Boots Ennis, I don't think his resume, okay? I think that Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, I think they beat him. I think Bud Crawford beats him easily. Okay, I think Errol Spence beats him. Ennis is a good fighter. I think he's too sloppy. I think he's very sloppy. I think he's still a prospect. I think he need to take the time. And see, this is what we talk about. Here's a case where you don't want to push the guy too fast. He's still a prospect. Got a lot to work on. Got a lot of different things that he does well, but he got some things that he need to work on. That I know that if he go in there and fight an Errol Spence or Terence Crawford right now, if he fight them guys right now, man, they're going to beat him. They're going to punish this dude. I mean, do you think Bud Crawford would have failed for the overhand right? Do you think Bud would have got caught in the back of the head with the overhand right? You think Errol Spence would have got caught in the back of the head with the overhand right? Okay, I mean, because he went to that punch a whole lot. And see, Bud Crawford can shut that punch down. Bud Crawford can take away your best weapon. And then you got to go to plan B and plan C. Bud Crawford can go to plan Z. Boots Ennis not ready for Bud Crawford yet. I mean, yeah, would he be ready for Sean Porter? I think it'd be a nice fight. It'd be a nice firefight. But I think Sean Porter will beat him in the end. You see, people, what we have begun to neglect now in this era is experience. It's like people don't really give a damn about experience anymore. People don't care about that. Experience don't mean nothing. If a person can fight, they can fight, man. We'll put them in there. Well, it's levels to this. It's levels to this. There's levels to skill set. And right now, Bud and Errol, they're on one level, and Jaron Ennis is on another level. And how does it sound, you know? Bud and Errol, somehow, they trying to find a way to fight each other. They're trying to fight each other. And then all of a sudden, now this newcomer, you know, he come in and he ain't put in the work. He ain't put in all the work that these guys have. And all of a sudden, he can just move to the front of the line and go get the mega fight. No, that's not how it works. That ain't how it works, okay? In MMA, the best fight the best. But in MMA, they don't have complete prospects. They see, in MMA, we shut that shit down. We shut it down. When we hear these damn prospects running their mouth talking about they want to fight a megastar, or when all these little young fighters talking about, yep, I want to fight Amanda, I want to fight Valentina. See, we shut it down. Because we know for a fact that they got up in there with Amanda Nunes or Valentina, or, you know, like the hype job Paulo Costa, when I said, hey, this guy a hype job. This guy is a prospect. He ain't been in there with no real competition. And what happened? Israel Adesanya beat the brakes off of him. That's because we know what's going to happen to Boots Ennis if he get in there with an Errol Spence. They're not afraid of him. And people need to stop saying that. Oh, man, Errol Spence is ducking Boots Ennis. He's not ducking him. He's not ducking him at all. And that's what people don't get. The reason why the Bud and Errol fight didn't happen. Hell, it's both their faults, really. Neither one of them, they're not ducking each other. It's politics and the whole thing about the politics and the finances. The whole thing about the politics and the finances. The guys couldn't agree on the money. Isn't that something? We didn't get to see the mega fight because the guys couldn't agree on what the money was going to be. Yeah. That's how it works in boxing. There's no excuse why the Errol Spence, the Thurman fight, the Bud fight, there's no excuse why those fights didn't happen. They should have happened. But the Boots Ennis fight, him fighting any of them top guys, it's a long way away. He's not going to get those fights. He may get a fight with a Danny Garcia, maybe. And I don't even know if he beat Danny Garcia. I think he could beat Danny Garcia. But to me, that's a 50-50 fight because I take experience. See, when I start judging fights and I say, hey, I said, who do I think is going to win this fight? I have to judge the fight, but I take experience. Experience to me weighs a lot. Boots Ennis ain't had those experiences, y'all. And people, they keep trying to push this guy and push this guy. Okay, the same way they did J-Rock. Same way they everybody pushing J-Rock to get in there and go fight one of the Charlos. J-Rock hollering, yeah, give me one of the Charlos. He get in there with one of the Charlos, get knocked smooth out. J-Rock wasn't ready for that fight. I don't care what people say. J-Rock wasn't ready to fight. He wasn't ready to fight the Charlos. Wasn't ready. Went in there and got slept. Okay? That's what it is. Erickson Lubin fought one of the Charlos. He definitely wasn't ready. He went in there and got slept. You can't have prospects going into the ring. You can't have complete prospects going into the ring with seasoned veterans. And guess what was about to happen to Rolly Romero? He was about to get slept too. He was about to get slept. Okay, Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, they're not afraid of this guy. And I need to repeat it. They're not afraid of Jaron Boots Ennis. They ain't afraid of this man. I mean, clearly a lot of people, you making the videos, clearly y'all ain't never boxed. You ain't never had no form of contact sports, no form of anything, no form of combative sports. Because that's definitely not how a person in combat sports, they don't think like that. They want to fight the best available. But also, see, the person in Terence Crawford and Errol Spence's position, they also know, too, that they can't fight forever. And they do know that, hey, part of their job is understanding business. They got to understand a little bit. Yeah. So, guys, just give up on that, man. Give up on it. If Bud and Errol are still around 3 years later, yeah, we'll probably get the Boots Ennis fight then. But we're not getting it no time soon. Hell, we can't even get Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis to fight. Do you really think Boots Ennis is going to get that fight too? Do you really think that he's going to be a pay-per-view star in the next 6 months to warrant that kind of fight? It's going to be no.